Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Would you like to have a seat?
Yep.
Come on down. How are you doing, Curtis?
Hot and tired.
I bet. The life of a rancher, huh?
Yeah, well, you saw it.
So, after spending some time out here, I thought I would have what it takes, but I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I do.
Well, you do. Everybody does.
Yeah, well,
Just takes time.
with a little training from you guys, too.
That's right.
I really did feel like a rootin' tootin' son of a gun.
Yeah, but it's hot.
It is. Hotter than a $2 pistol.
Right? How'd you like riding the horses?
I loved it. I really did. And I had been on horses when I was younger and things like that, but the experience was completely different. I spent a little time with old Buttons.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that character.
But somebody else.
Head clown there. No, head
different
cowboy.
plane.
He is really cool, and he's an interesting character. I did love it.
That's why we brought him on.
He also made me feel like it was simple. His directions were clear, and I felt like he didn't babysit. I was off riding by myself.
No, Button's not going to butt or over anything. He's going to give it to you straight and teach you the right way and the proper way.
Shooting right from the hip.
Right from the hip.
I like it.
And everything we do. If he tells you he's going to do it a certain way, that's how it's going to be done.
It sounds like that's the type of people you hire, people you can trust.
Try to, yes.
That's
But
awesome.
sometimes it don't work that way. But if you don't fit the program, you don't fit the program because
Hey.
we have a top program.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that you let people come out here and share in that experience. It was really, really cool. Matter of fact, some of the guys were cutting up with me and telling me stories about your father, Casey Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that makes you the second generation of the
Yes.
4J.
Yeah.
They were talking a little bit about you guys and your vision together, and I guess originally his vision for the ranch.
Yes.
Would you feel comfortable talking with me about that?
We can. I like get emotional.
That's okay. We all have feelings.
All right. Well, about 2 years ago, my dad asked me and my wife to come out here and take care of him because he just knew something. You know, he was going downhill. And I finally gave in after many, many years of him asking me to come join him here. When my mother and him bought this place, they wanted to turn it into a working ranch, but I didn't have that desire to do that because I was raised around animals all my life. He taught me, my grandfathers taught me. My grandfather was a full-blood Choctaw and raised many, many cattle and sheep and stuff. But my father's father was a big-time farmer, and he raised everything from pigs, sheep, goat, cows.
So this ain't your first rodeo?
Not my first rodeo. I've been there since I was newborn, I guess. Fresh out of the pod, whatever you want to call it. But I didn't have to because I had a family. Now that I did raise my own horses for many, many years. We had 32 head at one time that I was solely doing by myself.
It's a lot.
And cattle in between, pigs. We raise pigs. I've learned to raise quality pork, beef, stuff like that for my family because you can't count on nobody but yourself.
Right,
You know what I'm
and
saying? That's
having it
something
right here local is a lot better.
But anyways, back to the story. My father had a vision. And when we got here, me and my wife sold everything to come here to be with him. And those 2 years were the best 2 years I ever had of my life. I can't speak for my wife, but she feels the same way. He was tough on me as a kid, and I know why. Because he raised me to be me and to run what he envisioned for me to have, and for my children to have, and my grandchildren to have. And I never saw it. You know, people run blind when they're young.
And I think, you know, in that it's more of a men are strong and they're firm kind of thing that it's expected of cowboys.
Yeah, but I don't
ranchers.
feel like I was strong. You know what I'm saying? Because I fought.
Well, that's okay.
But I did. But it was the best 2 years of my life with him because I really got to know that man. I got to know his soul. You know what I'm saying? Deep in his soul. And he got to know me deep in my soul. And we were the same. My wife will tell you, you're Casey Jones all over. And that makes me proud. But his envision was to take this place, these two ranches that we have here in Newcastle, to raise quality beef for the masses have quality livestock for the masses, and to turn this into something that to share with the world. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there that have no idea what a rancher or farmer goes through. It's hard. It
They
is
just see what they see on TV
They
and
see-
assume that's what it
Yeah,
is.
and it's not TV. It's no Yellowstone.
It's not.
It's nothing like that. It is hard, backbreaking work. And it takes a lot of heartaches and a lot of trauma. I guess, I don't know.
Blood, sweat, tears,
Sweat,
love.
tears, love. You gotta love it to do it. It is not a job, it's a lifestyle. Does
That's
that make sense?
beautifully put. I mean, just the time I've been here with you guys, I feel, first of all, I don't feel near as strong as y'all, but I feel welcomed, and it feels just
Well, that's what we want.
like I've been here forever, and it really, I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, like it's been such an experience.
You're welcome.
Just to have these conversations and go out there with you guys, it feels like family.
Yeah, well, that's what we want. We want everybody here to be family. All the way down to my employees. Those are my brothers and sisters. And I look as their older brother to take care of them. I feel responsible for them and everything that they do. I mean, I don't know how many jobs you come to work and you're fed a meal every day. Just like you back in the 1800s. That's where we want that lifestyle. That feeling back, you're back in those old cowboy days. That's where you children learn to become godly people.
And you want to maintain that sort of lifestyle, but in the modern world,
Exactly.
having Ashley in your corner to bring that vision to everyone.
Exactly, which
I
was
love
my
that.
father's vision, which leads into, he would sit down for me for hours in his chair and talk about, I want you to get these type of cattle. Well, I'd go, and he wouldn't spare no expense, you know, I spent my money to start it. And I got it running, and he saw that it started making money, so he started contributing. He wanted me to do it on my own because he wanted to see.
Well, he
Yeah.
raised a really good man.
And we did, so I brought my older son in, which didn't take long, and me and him, oh man.
That's
it was
Kenny, right?
Yes, it was tough. We were running cattle with four-wheelers and Rangers, and that's not a pleasant thing to do. It's not the right thing to do, put stress on your cattle, and I'm gonna tell you, it'll kill them.
So nothing works like a good old-fashioned horse.
Yeah, and that's when I came to my father and said, look, these four-wheelers aren't gonna work. And he said, well, what do you think you should do? I said, well, I need horses. And that man wrote me a check and said, well, you go buy the best, son, and I mean the best.
So it would
And-
be safe to say he's a quality over everything kind of man? Or
Yes,
was?
yes. So that was where I went, me and my son, and we researched the horses that we have because they come all around from all over the United States. I have some were quarter horses, some were winning quarter horses, some were winning roping horses, some were racing horses. They were just all kinds of horses.
What about that squirrel you put me on? What kind of horse was
Squirrel
he?
is a ranch horse born and raised.
Hey, you know, Buttons was telling me, he was saying, this little strong-headed horse, and I said, well, you put him with the right one.
Yeah.
And he said, sometimes that don't work out, but I'll tell you what, me and old Squirrel got along just fine.
Yep, because you take control.
I
Button taught
was
you how to
gonna,
take
I was
control.
gonna give it hell. He did. He
Yeah.
sure did.
Mhm.
It really was a good experience because I need a good teacher in order to learn. Someone strong-headed and a little funny.
Yep.
Buttons fit that.
Well, a
bill.
horse feels everything, even your emotions. That's a good therapy for me. I mean, it always has been. That was my go-to because I had a rough life. I was pretty wild and learning.
Oh yeah.
Pretty bad. But horses always gave me that comfort because they love you back. They're just like dogs, if not better. They're smarter. And they feel your emotions. They feel every inch of you when you're on them. If they can feel a fly twitch on their back and shake, they can feel you.
You know, I don't mean to sound cliche with it, but you know, I came into this and I didn't have any nerves. I was just like excited, but also just really relaxed. So I felt kind of at one with the horse. I don't mean to be cheesy, but I'm serious.
It's very important.
I mean, even just like every little pull, like the tiniest thing, it just felt like we were moving together the
Yep.
whole time.
That's what it's about.
So when I come back, Squirrel's my guy.
Did he not love on you when you came
He
back?
was very cool.
Did he love on you? Did he put his hand on you?
No, I don't know if we've actually reached that part of our relationship yet.
You will.
We'll get there.
You will, because they do, because they all love on you. That's just what they do. You bond with your animal. And it's been a blessing ever since we bought the horses. We've excelled and just moved and moved and moved and grown and grown. Now we're in a direction where my father sat down and talked to me, son, we need a slaughterhouse. A slaughterhouse? And I'm like, yeah, I want you to raise quality beef and sell quality beef, because he's disgusted. He was disgusted with what goes on now, with what's in our meat and all that. And I remember as a child the way meat tasted, a steak, a good steak. When I was a child, how good it was that you wanted more.
Yeah, and you
Now
can even tell by looking at products just how different everything looks and all the additives.
And the additives, it don't even taste the same. And that's because of people like JBS and everywhere else. I mean, they're pushing stuff down our throats that isn't good for us.
Yeah. So since you talk about the additions, would you tell me a little bit more about what you have planned for the 4J?
Yes, my father wanted to full-on slaughterhouse over on what we call the Weaver Ranch. We're going to have a full-on hog barn and raise our own pork. We already raise our own goats to slaughter and stuff like that. But
Were you telling me something about the, there was a sweat house or something like that?
Okay, well, these are going to be events that are going to be held, but I really want, since my grandfather was Choctaw, he was ashamed of being an Indian back in those days.
And that was common.
That was common. So I want to bring that back to my children. Don't be ashamed of who was in your family, because he was a good man. He was a very good man. We're going to hold what they call like a sports game for Indians, but all the tribes come together all around. I mean, all the tribes, all over the United States. We're going to bring them here. And it's like a play day all day long, or all weekend long. We're going to have a full-blown, I'm having a full-blown, authentic Indian teepee in a spot out in the field, which I showed y'all.
Yes, that's why I thought about
It's
it, because
quiet.
you showed me where you planned that.
Something just tells me that's the spot, and we'll have a full-on sweat lodge just to show them what it was like, you know?
So that'll be part of like the events that people can come and experience? That'll be
Yeah.
great. Can I come?
Sure.
Ah, yes.
Anytime.
Okay.
But he also wants a rodeo arena.
That will be cool.
A full-blown outdoor rodeo arena, because a lot of your young cowboys don't like indoor rodeos arenas because they like that open atmosphere.
Feels less authentic to be in
Well,
that.
it's like a Friday night football game. Come on, what's the best? That's the best.
Under the lights, under the
lights,
stars.
Under the stars, have your concessions out there, whatever, what have you. But he didn't want to do that just for these cowboys. He wants to have school competitions, high school, colleges.
Something for the young kids too. That's really
Yeah, and to
empowering.
teach and learn and all that, to learn how to do this, ride, all that, be a farmer. But then he also would sit back and talk to me about how wonderful it would be to have colleges involved with us. Any college. I don't care what kind of college. I don't care if it's A&M or Cisco. I don't care, as long as they want to come here and learn from the dirt, how to make life better for a rancher, building a quality seed, product, whatever, to veterinarian, to raising cattle, showing the process from when it hits the ground, it comes around to the very time it goes to slaughter to your dinner plate. That's what we want to learn. That's what I want to learn from colleges. I want them to learn from me. I want them to use this ranch as a facility.
So if they can
to
come
learn.
with an open mind, they can leave with an experience.
Experience and develop that knowledge to where we get the first-hand knowledge of it, the technical stuff, in everything that we do. Because I want to be the front runner.
Oh, you will be. I believe that.
That's what he wanted us. If he said go big or go home, and he meant it. He was a big man. He said go home. Or you stayed and played.
Or coward in fear.
Well, I did that a lot. He was a strong man. But
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
he left me with a very good impression on how to take this ranch forward. And my kids are starting to see what I don't want to say me and my wife have accomplished.
I'm sure they're very proud of you, and they're proud to be a part of this.
It's been my dream to have I guess, business. I don't like to call it a business because it's not. To me, it's just a living
Lifestyle. Like it.
that my kids are in it to experience it and learn and develop to where they're passing on to their children and their children.
I don't know why I act the way I do. I ain't got a single thing to lose. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy. I guess that's just the cowboy in me. I guess that's just the cowboy in me.